You are just not going to believe the morning I've had this morning. My car broke down. It's fine. We can totally work through this. It's just not going to plan. But I have set myself a recording schedule, and by jingoes, I'm going to stick to that recording schedule. So sorry if this is all over the place. Hi everyone, it's me, Natalie, and this is my January wrap-up. My focus this year is my Goodreads want to read shelf. I no longer want to shove books on there and not pay any attention to them, and in my 2019 goals, that was my focus. This isn't a numbers game. I don't need to worry about, plus this, minus this. That's too much for me to comprehend. I just need to make sure that I'm reading more of my Goodreads want to read shelf than I'm not. Does that make sense? I hope so. So this January I have read 9 books, and of those 9 I think 6 are from my want to read shelf. So thumbs up, I did it. That was a high five. I also want to go through that spreadsheet, and for the January portion of it, like in the same month, I'm going to look through and see which books I'm just not going to get to on there and I just have no interest in anymore. There's 2 that I'm going to take off, and one is The Secret History and one is A Visit from the Goon Squad. These guys were hanging around and I could have picked them up, but I just chose not to after reading the first pages. I might be missing out on good things, but at this point in my reading world, I don't really want to. I'm going to run from my least favourite to my most favourite of the month, just because that's fun. I'm going to start with the 3 books that I DNF'd this month. The first one was How to Be a Woman by Caitlin Moran, because that was just nonsense. The second one was I Am Pilgrim. Is it by Terry Hayes? Because that was a spy thriller situation, which I don't do. And the third one was The Far Back Country by Kate Lyons, because her writing does not suit my brain. So my least favourite book of the month out of the 9 is Cairo by Chris Womersley. This was originally for my Whodunitathon readathon. They're just all mixed in there. But it had nothing to do with a whodunit situation. So I read it and wasted my time, and it was boring, pretty much. It was fine. It was just fine. Nothing exciting about it. I've heard it all before. I've heard about the 17-year-old who moves to the city, gets in with the wrong crowd because they accept him, and gets involved in criminal activity and then writes a confession. Standard. I would not recommend this. I think it's 3 stars, but upon reflection, I need to downgrade it to 2. It's not bad. It's just not great at all. That's my least favourite. My next least favourite book was Dead Man's Folly by Agatha Christie. This was for the Whodunitathon, Challenge 4, if you're keeping up with that. This is my first Poirot novel, and I didn't like it. I don't like Poirot. He's a pig, really. He's arrogant and sexist, and he could have done so much more in this book with his detective work. He just kind of sat back and didn't do anything. But he was in every situation, in every scene. So it was revolving around his detective activity, but he wasn't doing much. At least with Miss Marple books, she's in the background and there's a whole story going on, and she kind of manipulates and interjects when she needs to. I like her much better. I'm definitely a Marple versus a Poirot fan. So it was fine. I didn't pick the whodunit, so that's always good. Right, so there's that one. My next least favourite was H is for Hawk. Yeah, it's a pretty cover, huh? Look on the inside. So pretty. I just felt like the history lesson about, was it T.H. White, T.J. White, whatever his name was not needed. I needed more of her story. Her writing about her grief was magic, but I just wanted to know more about her, and I didn't care about whoever that other guy was. She needed to be the focus of this story for me. So yeah, I gave it 3 stars. Lots of people love it, I'm sorry. The next one is The Mystery of a Hansom Cab. This was published, when was this published? This was first published in 1886. It's considered to be the first Australian mystery. I read this for Whodunitathon with the challenge with the eyes on the cover. It was great. I didn't pick it. I was intrigued. It was interesting. It's a total whodunit. It's a total Sherlock Holmes type thing. It's just a bit of fun, these books, really, aren't they? I gave this 4 stars. The next one is See What I Have Done by Sarah Schmidt. This was full on. This was focused on an actual murder, and it's a fictionalized account of the people surrounding that murder, the day before and the day of and the days after. It's about a really disturbed woman who got arrested but then got acquitted, which was the daughter of these people that got killed with an axe. It's pretty full on. It's terrifying and it's sad and it's disturbing, but it's a good read. I would recommend you read it. This was for the Blue on the Cover challenge for Whodunit-a-thon, so pick it up if you haven't. It's a intriguing one. It scares the shit out of you. The next one I read was The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, which is sort of 11 cases, I think it is. Yeah, I like all those guys. This was for the most hyped challenge in the Whodunit-a-thon. I love Sherlock Holmes stories. I'm really into these sort of things, aren't I, with the Agatha Christie's and the Sherlock Holmes. I find them really fun, and I love the relationship that Sherlock and Dr. Watson have. Yeah, I want to read all of these books. So I think I've read 4 or 5 now, so I'm really excited. If you've never read Sherlock Holmes, definitely give it a try. I picked it up because of Steve Donahue. He did like a Sherlock Holmes read-along thing, and I just find them so easy. If your brain can't handle reading, pick up a Sherlock Holmes book, because it just is easy to read, but still page-turning and interesting. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, so that's my next one. Top 3 we're up to. My third best book of the month was Plain Song by Kenta Roof. This was just lovely. There's nothing more to say about this book. It is lovely, and this is a series, and I want to continue to read the series. Hopefully with you, Jo. We'll get our act together one day. Yeah, it warmed my heart so much. Please read this book if you haven't. It's a real joy. Absolute joy. And the second favorite book of the month is Marcus Zuzak's The Messenger. I just read this for Whodunit-a-thon, and I put it in the genre bending thing. This is a nice book. It makes you switch focus from yourself and think about the giving aspect of life. It's lovely. It's about a guy who gets set up by somebody to enhance his life, because he's a bit of a down and out kind of guy, not doing much. He's driving cabs, and somebody is setting him up to show him that to lend a hand and to give and to be a part of other people's worlds and help them is how you enhance your world. It's kind of that, lesson. It's wonderful. I really liked it. This is my first Marcus Zuzak. I am going to read more for sure. So, yep. And my favourite book that I read in January was Where the Trees Were by Inga Simpson. She is an Australian author. This is an Australian book, and it's magic. I love her writing. I've read 3 or 4 of her books now. They're all 5 stars for me. Inga Simpson is a very passionate environmentalist, so there's always some nature theme woven into her books. It's not about trees. It's about friends who discover First Nation sacred sites on their property and strive to protect it. And it's about their relationships together. It's about, as kids, their influence over their parents and their parents' formed views that they are trying to challenge, which is tougher than you think. About them carrying it through to their adult lives and trying to make sure that their passion for the protection of the earth and for the protection of First Nations sacred sites and their land, to ensure that that has continued. So it's brilliant. I would really recommend it. I love her writing anyway. And this book also fits into, I've completed 1 of the Reading Women challenges, and that was the challenge 19 that's about nature. So what's more fitting than Inga Simpson, who I love, to fulfill that challenge in the Reading Women's challenge. Very exciting. So that's it. We did it. I had a lot of fun reading this month. It was a little crazy because I'm a mum and kids don't let you read. The books were great, some not so, but the majority of them I really enjoyed. So that's a good reading month, right? If you've read any of these books or want to chat about them, then please do in the comments. I love chatting with all of you. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Now I've got to go and get my car from the mechanics. Hopefully it's fixed and it doesn't cost me thousands of dollars. Hooray. Okay, gotta go. Bye.